So hey everybody, we are Passageway Financial. We do bookkeeping, accounting, and tax for small businesses. Based out of the Twin Cities, my name is Rob and I'm on the marketing team. And Trevor, why don't you guys introduce yourselves and let us know about Passageway?
Yeah, so Passageway Financial was started in September of 2021. And I'm Trevor Haug. I'm the owner and the CPA at Passageway Financial.
Yeah, my name is Anna and I'm a client success manager. I really help clients find success when we manage their finances, bookkeeping, accounting, consulting. And I love working with our small businesses to help them build the life they want.
And I'm on the marketing team, so I help you guys get in front of more small businesses, which is why we're making this video. One of the things that I've come to love about what you guys do is that you do this outsourced accounting model, right? Mm-hmm. And for those of you that don't know, your typical accounting firm, what they're going to do is they sit back, they do year-end taxes, they kind of do your books maybe, and really the old business model was that they grow by getting more and more tax return customers, right? Mm-hmm. And so what's cool about what Passageway is doing is you guys serve as an outsourced accountant where, yes, you do business tax returns, yes, you do bookkeeping, yes, you do everything else, but really what you do is you engage throughout the year and provide leadership for businesses that are scaling. Because you guys are no small feat. Mm-hmm. I mean, you guys, we're going to talk a little bit about this. Why don't you walk me through just really quick. You used to work at the Big Four, KPMG. So you were at one of the biggest accounting firms in the nation. Then you shared the story that basically you wanted to help small businesses. It was really good that you were looking at massive corporations. In fact, after KPMG, you spent some time at Wells Fargo as well, right?
Right.
Like counting really large number. Why don't you fill us in on your CPA? Walk me through your career so far.
So my focus in my career so far has been in what's called financial controls. And the point of financial controls is when a high-level executive of a company is signing off on their financial statements that might go out to investors and might go out to lenders, that how do they know that those financial statements are accurate?
So you're a stickler for details.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And you're a certified public accountant that owns an accounting and tax firm.
That's right.
So you've basically brought the howitzer to the table. You've brought the big gun to the table. And not that small businesses are so much easier, but they're not nearly as complex and sophisticated as what you used to work on, right?
Yeah.
But you guys were talking about what you want to do with your life. You guys have adopted children. You have a really great story. You're engaged. You love people. I love working with you, and I get the pleasure of helping you with your website and your marketing and everything. But what we do here at Passageway is we provide proactive tax planning. And that's a big deal because what most people don't understand is by the time you get to the year end, it's too late. You're not going to get any tax savings. When you just go in and get your taxes done, are there any other write-offs I didn't think of? That's not the time to actually act, right? So why don't you just walk me through a little bit of real quickly, what does tax planning look like from Passageway Financial?
Yeah, so it's essentially we offer this outsourced accounting service because we want to make sure that our clients have enough time that we can spend with them, that we give them enough attention that they deserve and that they need in order to run their business.
Because you're doing bookkeeping. So every month you're going in and making sure everything's reconciled really well, but that's after you've cleaned everything up, set up the chart of accounts to a CPA level, which is a lot different than what a typical bookkeeper that just kind of comes in. In fact, most bookkeeping services, people don't know, they're going to have to work with another tax person. So you do it all.
Yep.
And so you're going to set everything up, you keep the books up, but while you're doing the bookkeeping, you're actually on the lookout for strategies to mitigate and lower taxes and to proactively invest and plan. And what are some of the biggest, if you were to hit on some of these? I know we got S-Corp, we got retirement plans, buying real estate, hiring kids, stuff like that. Why don't you hit on some of the things that you're often looking for in a small business while you're doing the bookkeeping so that you can help them lower taxes?
One of the first things that we are thinking about right away is your business entity structured appropriately to maximize your cash flow and essentially by minimizing your taxes. And so when they've created an LLC, have they made any sort of elections for their taxes, or are they, if they're a partnership, is that structured appropriately? Mm-hmm. Or some of them might just be right out of the gate a corporation, which there's a bunch of other things that need to be managed with that as well. And so when we're thinking about legal entities, we're thinking about are you taking advantage of the tax savings that are available with that?
Opportunities, yep.
Right. And Also, when you are thinking about S corporations or other things, are you managing the managing the tension?
There's some tension. So those
and all the compliance requirements that might come with that.
Yeah, I mean, like if we were to talk about an example, let's say that you just started a business, you've been running it for the past year, you're making $100K, right? That's what you're going to bring home. You're going to pay about $15,000 in self-employment taxes if you're an LLC. Yep. Now, the big difference is that we're trying to get rid of self-employment taxes. When you're an LLC, you have self-employment taxes. But when you become an S Corp, which is a different structure than an LLC, that's when you start not having to pay any self-employment. Now, this doesn't mean you don't pay any taxes. Mm-hmm. That's not how this works. Yeah. But you start paying a lower bracketed tax, right?
You split your income in half. And so part of it's a payroll, part of it's this distribution or owner's dividend.
Yeah.
The owner's dividend is not subject to self-employment tax.
Yes, and that's the big difference, because what you're doing is you're going from owning all of what comes in as your income versus going from I own a business to I own a business and I'm employed. And that's the difference between someone who wants to grow a business. When you don't just think about owning the business, but being employed, because one day you want to hire someone to fill that spot. So that's what you're doing. You're thinking about, well, how much would I pay that person?
Yep.
So let's say you pay that person $50K, right? Once you pay $50K, we are only going to be paying payroll taxes on $50K, not the $100K you were taking home. And so that's the real difference, where you now have $9,000, almost $10,000 per year. If you were to invest that at 10% over 30 years, talk to your financial advisor, then you would be almost a millionaire, $1.6 million.
That's such a good point.
That's where the savings that we look for is really going to come down to, one, we didn't just talk about earning $10,000. We also talked about you going from being someone who owns a business to now working on your business and saying,
scaling.
Hey, I'm really going to grow this business to make me money. And that's the big difference. And that's what we really love to do at Passageway, and why we say, hey, give us your finance functions. Give us everything, your payroll, your bookkeeping. Let us help understand where that money's going. Not for us, but let us put it in a way that's easy for you.
You guys have a great dynamic. So you were at KPMG, Wells Fargo, Piper Jaffray, Pizza Hut way back in the day.
Way back.
But then we have Anna. And Anna, what you've been able to bring to the table is really this operational excellence, helping people build a more scalable and a more profitable business. But why don't you walk me through what you've done in the past and what that's been like?
I have come and done everything. I also worked at Pizza Hut back in the day, and call centers and service, but ultimately ending up in healthcare. I was at Blue Cross Blue Shield of Minnesota. I was in Bright Health. I also worked for YMCA, the 4th largest YMCA of the Twin Cities here. And when we look at those structures, my goal has always been, what is the experience like? So we were just talking about how tax season, everyone's growing and most firms are just getting more and more taxes. You can't ever reach them, right? That's not something that we do here at Passageway. When you sign up with us, you can email, you can text, you can give us a phone call. You're coming up with an idea, or you see a real estate investment and you're wondering what it's about. You're thinking about hiring more people and you're not sure what that means. Someone might need to be fired and you're not sure what that means. We're a guide to help you through those things. We may not have all the answers for sure, and we both know when we don't know. And we'll point you to someone else that we can point to. But we'll help you ask the right questions. And that's really where my background comes in, is helping understand, well, what are the operational and the reaching parts? Not just your money, but what is your money going to do? And what are the risks to that? So that you can really know where you're headed.
And excellence. I think something that I've come to appreciate, if I were to sum it up, I know you guys are engaged to make sure that their books and finances are set up fantastic, that they're promptly executed, that they're actually cleaned up all the time. So you're a CPA, this is a tax and accounting firm, but you've got a high level of leadership that you can provide to a small business when it's coming down to like what decisions to make on different things. You're doing proactive, aggressive tax planning. And then because you're doing all that, life is easy. Like you get to do the tax return. That's what I love about this outsourced accounting model that you guys do. And then on the other side, the perspective that you bring, Anna, to just help businesses move upward and forward. It's almost like bringing the excellence of big corporate America down to a small business, which what I've come to understand, most of you small business owners out there don't necessarily have the same skills as somebody that succeeds in the corporate world. So if you're a small business owner and you like the idea of heading upward and forward, building a more profitable and scalable firm, Passageway Financial is the perfect bookkeeping, accounting, and tax firm for you. And you guys you work a lot differently, right? So you're engaged throughout the year, but you're not trying to waste their time either. You're not up in their business. It's all about focused, meaningful communication from what I've seen we do internally.
But if you were to walk through what it would look like for our clients, we have kind of weekly, monthly, quarterly, biannually, and annually kind of activities. And those things that we do for you is where we stay engaged, where you know what's going on. Something that's so important for us is we do all of this work so the business owner knows what's happening with their finances. But you didn't have to spend time over spreadsheets and doing QuickBook updates and putting this in and putting that in.
Or hiring somebody else.
That's something
That's
that we
the
do.
other thing. Folks don't understand that when they choose you, the bookkeeping, accounting, and tax, you're going to save them from hiring a part-time bookkeeper. And when you do the math on that, we have this on the website, that ends up being, probably $30 an hour, 8 hours a week is probably what you're going to save the team. That ends up being, probably $800 to $2,500 a month in staffing costs that they don't have to bear anymore. And instead, they just pay you a simple monthly retainer and they get everything all included. Why don't you just walk me through? So how does it usually work? How do they get started? Walk me through just succinctly, how does the year look and what are you guys doing for businesses?
Yeah, the benefit really is that when we're offering this service that you're not hiring a bookkeeper to do, you're not having your office manager do it. We really try to do it more cost effectively, more efficiently, and better than those folks that you might just hire because they're available. And so it's really going to help. It's really a solution that is scalable for your business, and it takes some of the risk and burden off of you as the supervisor and manager of these people.
Yeah, now they get to lead their business rather than having somebody internally that needs to be managed, needs to be led. You have to pay employment taxes on them. They have a risk, and obviously every employee has stuff that can come up where it costs you dearly. Whereas the business model that we have here at Passageway, it's all about, we want to make sure you want to be with us. That monthly retainer and engagement that you have, we are eager to keep your business. And that's a huge differentiator. Everybody's business is empowered by their employees. But sometimes these services like Passageway are the best because we know you can fire us. And we want to make sure that doesn't happen.
Yeah, and we want to give you the confidence in the decisions. When we talk about what does our business owners really get from us, yes, you actually get the services we're talking about, but you're going to get more time to do what you want to do, whether that be being with your family or building your business and hiring more, doing more jobs. We also want to give you a consistent and regular paycheck. Paying yourself and making sure that you're making enough, and what is the goal that you have and how do we get you there? That's something that we can provide. That's more of the consulting part that we help you do. And then lastly, we want you to have an out. What's your retirement plan? What's your I'm not going to work anymore day? What does that look like for you? Is that building an asset and selling it off? Is it passing it down? What is that business going to do for you? So giving you that time, more money, and being able to have that retirement or ending plan for you when you actually don't want to work anymore, that's something that we really like to build. And all of that comes from confidence in your numbers, because those are where you're going to make those decisions. So decisions to hire, decisions to buy equipment, those are the kinds of questions you have. You need to have confidence in those numbers. And sometimes having that internal employee is not where you find that confidence. It's going to be in a team where you can fire, and that there's always a day that we're trying to earn your business every day.
And that's also why I like looking into your legal structure, because if you're going to go from just a self-employed individual with an LLC to being taxed like an S corporation, and now you're becoming an employee of your business, there's a mindset shift that oftentimes comes with that for people too. That they're viewing themselves not just as I'm just making money wherever I can, just hustling and making money and putting it into my business, but really no, you're managing this business. You're an employee of this business. This business is able to provide for your well-being.
It's heading upward and forward.
And so now you're no longer just an employee, but you are a business owner. You're an investor. You are thinking about the profitability of your business. You're thinking about the end goal of, could I hire someone else to do this job and I just continue to get paid from my business and have this brand that I've built and I've invested into, and now I get to I get to enjoy the fruit of that labor.
Yeah, we talk a lot about like different hats that business owners own, right? And they have, sometimes you're the secretary, sometimes you're the person that's answering phones, you're the person that's going to be looking at the bank and hiring, and you're the person picking up equipment, right? Well, we want to introduce new hats like investor and new hats like a business owner. Those types of hats, sometimes it can be really overwhelming what those mean. And that's part, again, of why Passageway is different. We don't just offer a service. We come to you as a partner. We're here to say, hey, we want to know, what do you want to go? What do you want to build? We want to understand, like, what do you want to build in your business? And we want to help you get there. And that comes where the value that Trevor and I bring together as a team, right, is you have someone understanding finances, you have someone understanding operations scalability. Put those two together. We only know how to run a business. We don't have any great ideas. That's you.
Yep.
And that's where the small business owner comes in. They bring the great idea, they bring the service that they provide, the technique that they offer, and then we help them to scale it, build it, introducing them to those hats of investor, business owner, manager, team developer, culture, those types of things that you need to know. And that's what makes us really different. And also it's what we tick on. Like it's what makes us passionate, is when we can have a business owner kick butt. You know, we have a business owner right now who knows what they're doing. They're doing really, really well, but they're super hard on themselves. So we just had our biannual meeting that we have at the end of the year with our clients to kind of help them understand where they at on taxes, how's their cash flow been going, do we have any concerns? And we were able to sit in front of him and show him some really good visual understandings. We'll graph out data sometimes to show him he's doing a good job. His cash flow is well managed. He's containing his costs and his revenue's going up. And what we were able to do was say, are you paying yourself enough? Do you need to be paying yourself more? Because you're getting close to that profitability level where we'd start asking, what should we do with that extra money? And that's where we were able to have a conversation of, he does need to pay himself more. Do we take that as a dividend? How does this work? And really by structuring that, he left not only being affirmed that he's doing the right thing, when sometimes as business owners we wonder, and he was able to really understand what he needs to do to take home more cash and support his family, which was super exciting for us to see.
So you just make life easy. You lower their taxes, you do their books, and then you bring a little perspective in to make life easy. And they get started. So folks can get started by just contacting us on the website. We'll do a tax analysis. We'll kind of dive into the bookkeeping, dive into your accounting system, take a look at the tax return, and just we're looking for opportunities to add a ton of value. We want to find tax savings so that you choose us. And we want to bring something to the table that most accountants aren't. So Passageway Financial, click book. We'll do a tax analysis. We'll look at things. That was awesome. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks.